Chiefs fans wanted to celebrate a Super Bowl title in Arrowhead, but the Lions, yes, the Detroit Lions, had other ideas. Penalties, drop passes, key injuries, and costly turnovers helped sink Kansas City. But make no mistake, these aren't your father's Lions. Jared Goff threw for 253 yards, while the defense was spectacular as the emerging NFC North power came through for the statement win. Detroit rides their momentum into a home opener against Seattle next week, while the defending champs regroup on the road against Jacksonville. An intriguing Week 3 of college football saw 8th-ranked Washington take on Michigan State at Spartan Stadium. Acting head coach Harlan Barnett and co. looked to spoil Michael Penix Jr.'s return to the Big Ten, but the sophomore had other ideas. Penix threw for 375 yards and 4 TDs in the first half alone. The Huskies went into the locker room up 35-zip as the game was already decided after just 2 quarters. The Heisman contender finished with over 400 yards in the air en route to a 41-7 rout over MSU to remain undefeated. The latest iteration of the Indiana-Purdue rivalry is in the books. Let's head down to Bloomington. End of the first half, Malik Renew forces the turnover, spills it, and it's Caleb, just like his last name, who banks it in to give Indiana a comfortable double-digit lead at the half. Second half, Braden Smith and Purdue looking to make a comeback going up against Jackson Davis. Can't get the ball to fall in the basket. Ball goes out of bounds. Jackson Davis, he wants a replay. Purdue ball, guess what, big fella? We got one for you. Edey and Jackson Davis going up for it. It goes off of Edey. Indiana gets the ball. They have the lead here with 11 minutes to go, up by 8. Jalen Hood-Schifino running the floor, finding his high school teammate Malik Renew, who feeds Trace Jackson Davis the lob. Another 2 points. Indiana back up by 10. Under 9 to go. Braden Smith's going to try one again. Gets the feed from Edey going up against Hood-Schifino, but Jackson Davis says, "Get that out of here." The senior showing the freshman what it's like to play in his house, and the first time he is playing in this Indiana-Purdue rivalry. The SWAT team on site at Assembly. Another look. Jackson Davis going airborne. Under 30 seconds left, Indiana clinging on to a one-possession lead. Hood-Schifino gets the screen from Race Thompson and does the rest. Number 1 with a huge layup to put Indiana up by 5. Purdue needed a timeout to talk things over after this. Shoving the 7-footer out of the way. Hood-Schifino, the Big Ten frontrunner for Freshman of the Year, proven why. He is number 1 in cream. An excellent layup to put the Hoosiers up by double digits. Assembly Hall was on its feet, and they surely weren't sitting after this play. The dagger, Race Thompson, football pass to Hood-Schifino, who slams it down and says good night. Hoosiers knock off number 1 Purdue, 79-74.
Maduro comes down with it for Indiana, sends it really into no man's land, and Miller's going to have to chase after it. Just over 15 minutes remaining. A pair of subs getting ready for both sides. Carson Henderlong, who I just mentioned, he's ready to come in. And Mitchell Dryden, a sophomore from Milwaukee, getting ready for the Badgers. He's already got 2 goals this year.
Yeah, one of which the lone goal in that win over the Wildcats against Kentucky.
Of course, Kentucky last year, the number 1 overall seed, heading into the NCAA tournament. Of course, Indiana lost to them 3-0 here at Bill Armstrong, the only home loss a year ago. Of course, Indiana, as we mentioned earlier, already fallen once, 1-0 against Washington a few weeks ago. Maloon Gumbali comes off in favor of Henderlong.
Well, with Henderlong coming in for Gumbali, like you said, Austin, a little bit more of a goal-scoring threat. Gumbali is great with the ball at his feet. He's almost like a point guard out there around the 18, to use a basketball analogy.
Mahalik heaves it in. He was looking for Joey Mayer, cleared out by Wisconsin. Barger, the only one left back there. Nearly tripped over the ball, but instead just runs backwards with it. Gets it back to McDonald, and now Indiana can reset.
It's been a game in the midfield so far.
Only 1 shot for both teams. It was early on in the match. 6 fouls for Wisconsin to Indiana 0, but other than that, not too much offensively.
1 corner.
Yeah. And both teams, as we said, coming in, maybe we expected a lot of goals tonight. Indiana coming in with 86 shots. Wisconsin with 85, top 2 in the conference, which says something considering Indiana's played 1 less match coming in tonight compared to really the rest of the conference, and they're still at the top, which shows you they've had enough quality in the final third and enough chances, just haven't been able to put them in the back of the net. But Todd Yeagley not worried. Really? There's another dangerous foul. Sarver goes down again. Drew Brown was the victim. And it looks like we're going to see our first yellow card here. Sarver, that flick forward, and Brown late. Didn't get any of the ball, and I think he knew it as soon as he committed the foul.
Yeah, he walked away. We could hear that from up here, Austin. And this is going to be the best chance the Hoosiers have had on a free kick.
Sarver so good at drawing those fouls.
And this is a spot where Todd Yeagley and the Hoosiers miss a guy like Ryan Wittenbrink, who graduated last year. He's really good with his ball placement.
Scored 10 goals for the Hoosiers last year. Indiana had 16 different goal scorers a year ago. Wisconsin had 9 different ones. And they graduated guys that combined for 8 goals and 14 assists. 2 guys lined up here for Wisconsin right on the edge of the box. Sarver, who won the foul, will deliver it in for Indiana. 6 guys lined up right now in the box for the Hoosiers.
Watch for Joey Mayer.
He's right there in the middle of your screen, spinning around near the penalty area. Sarver's right foot. It's a good-looking ball, looking for his Jansen Miller, it looks like. Got his head on it. Not sure how much he knew of it with all the guys in front of him, but it just went over the goal. It's a good-looking ball, though, from Sarver, as we see Miller trotting back. Usually we've seen other guys take those set pieces, Mahalik being one of them, but Indiana opting for Sarver, trying to change things up.
Miller thought that there was some jersey grabbing going on around the 6, where he got a head on it. No whistle from the official. Duro subbing out. And in comes Luca Becerra.
Becerra, someone who Yeagley mentioned, is going to get more minutes this year. He's back in the match now and presumably will play the final 13 or so minutes. He usually plays kind of that last quarter hour. And nearly got a touch on it there, trying to get behind the Wisconsin back line, but it sent back towards the Indiana bench. BB quickly gets it back from his assistant coach, Christian Lomelli. Mayer wins the header. It's a good ball for Mahalik. Does well to bring it down past one Wisconsin Badger. Nearly past his second. And a foul was called on the play. Now it's Finnegan. Get this, William. Jack Finnegan. His hometown is Hometown, Illinois. That is not a typo either.
Where are you from, hometown?
What's your hometown? No, it is hometown.
Yeah.
It's like who's on first.
That's a good bit. That's a good bit.
Of course, Finnegan, Illinois Gatorade Men's Soccer Player of the Year a few years ago. Holds the school record for most goals in a season with 44, and in his career with 101 in his varsity years. Scored 4 goals last year, 2 goals the year before that. Of course, figures again to be one of Wisconsin's top goal scorers, but they only have 5 goals to their name this year. Mitchell Dryden's got 2 of them, just like how Collins Aduro has 2 for the Hoosiers.
Jack Finnegan's father, Frank, is the mayor of Hometown, Illinois.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Baldwin with it. Sarver on him, but he glides right past him. He's got 3 guys to aim at and can't find any of them as Barger's just going to watch it roll all the way out for an Indiana goal kick with just under 11 minutes remaining now in the first half.
Goal kick, Indiana.
And Rutgers will start things here in the second half, now moving from right to left on your radio dial as they lead Indiana 17-14. A win gives the Scarlet Knights bowl eligibility, truly for the first time in 9 seasons. But of course they went to a bowl game 2 years ago as they had only 5 wins, but not enough teams had 6 wins, so they were kind of the lucky loser.
Well, what happened, Austin, is I forget which school it was, but there was a COVID issue. They didn't have enough players to play.
Right.
So Rutgers had 5 wins, and because their academic scores were high enough, they were the first team that got the call of the bunch that had 5 wins, and they got to play in that bowl game.
It's quite an interesting tiebreaker there. Wind is really picking up here. Our tent kind of flying around. And we'll see Gavin Wimsett start things here for Rutgers. Monungai to his left, 2 receivers out left and 1 to the right. Wimsett was not great in the first half. He hands it off to Monungai. Flag comes in late. Helmets flying everywhere. It's a rugby scrum. Rutgers trying to push Monungai forward. They get a gain of 7 after he was met about 2 yards after he got the ball.
Phil Bleedy had his helmet come off. Illegal hands to the face called against Indiana.
Against Bleedy.
Yeah.
So somehow his helmet came off, but he was called for illegal hands to the face. Not sure I've seen that.
He's had a rough few quarters. Obviously got hurt against Michigan in the final few moments of that game. Went down with an injury, at least momentarily, in the first quarter of this game, and now that penalty gets called against him. Zion, you may have jinxed him. You did a special feature for him for the Indy Star. I don't know.
It's a great story, you know, a senior, but now married with 2 kids, still playing college football.
Go check it out after this game. I'll say that much. It's a great article. Now it's first down and 10 from Rutgers' 47. It's another handoff to Monungai running up the middle. And he got about 4 yards on that play. So this is a heavy rush attack for Rutgers. They had 119 rushing yards in the first half. And they got 4 right there from Kyle Monungai, who also went down with an injury, missed a few plays, but the Big Ten's leading rusher and one of the captains on this team has been fantastic for them all year, averaging about 5 yards a carry entering this game. He's got 64 rushing yards and an average of 4 today. Wimsett out of the gun. He's going to take it himself using the lead blocker from Monungai. Makes one man miss and then gets upended at the 41-yard line. A bit of a somersault forward, but it's short of the line to gain. Jordan Greer in on the tackle. He's the safety. Remember, no Lewis Moore. He got ejected from this game on a targeting penalty late in the first half. So he'll miss the remainder of this one, but will not have to miss next week's matchup at Penn State. 13-22 remaining here in this third quarter. Rutgers up by 3. It's a 3rd and 1 on the 44-yard line. Wimsett the handoff to Monungai up the middle. He's got the first down and a bit more out to the 40-yard line on the near hash. And Rutgers moves the chains. They scored on their opening drive in the first half and now looking to do so in the second half to potentially give themselves a double-digit lead.
Not sure anybody in this stadium was surprised by that play call. 3rd and 1, run first offense is going to run the ball, and they pick up the first.
12:52 remaining in this third quarter. Both teams with touchdowns in the first half. Rutgers got a field goal at the very end, a chip shot from Jay Patel from 21 yards out, which ended the half. Wimsett, the junior quarterback from Kentucky, went to the line to call a play and then hands it off to Monungai, running between the center and the right guard, and gets about 3 yards on that carry. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 7. As Rutgers is on Indiana's side of the field at the 37-yard line, leading by 3. A win today would give themselves bowl eligibility before really the brunt of their schedule comes. They have a bye next week, but then still have Ohio State, Maryland, and Penn State on the schedule, as well as a trip to Iowa City to take on a much-improved Iowa squad. 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Wimsett out of the gun with 2 receivers to the right. Monungai to his right as well, the running back. Snap is up to him. Wimsett to throw, and another high one, incomplete. Was looking right at the sticks for Isaiah Washington, the senior receiver from Jacksonville, Florida. He was looking to his right. Another high throw that's kind of been the issue today for Wimsett, who's now just 4 for 10 in the air. And now a big 3rd and 7 at the 37 for Rutgers.
This might still be 4th down territory for Rutgers, so I wouldn't be shocked to see a handoff here.
Wimsett out of the gun and trips right for the Scarlet Knights. On 3rd downs today, they're 3 for 7, which is right around their season average. Snap up with 7 to go on the play clock. It is a handoff to Monungai, bobbing and weaving through tacklers out to the right and to the far sideline, but eventually brought down. Aaron Casey was there to help. And that'll bring up 4th down and about 3 here. Decision time for Greg Schiano.
This would be about a 51-yard kick attempt, and I think they're going to stay on the field.
Offense is still out there. A big 4th down here. Rutgers 0 for 1 today on 4th down. They're going to try here on Indiana's 34-yard line. 4th and 4. Rutgers up 17-14 over Indiana. 11-15 and counting remaining here in this third quarter. Rutgers in their opening drive in the second half. Deferred to start the game. They got the ball here to start the second. Now looking to convert on 4th down. Snap is up. Indiana bringing pressure. Wimsett throw over the middle. The pass is caught for a 1st down right at the 26-yard line, right in the middle of the field.
That was a grab made by somebody whose number is not on the roster. So number 83, not even on the Rutgers roster. Can't tell you who it is, but he made the catch out of the slot on the slant.
Mystery Man picks up the first down for Rutgers. Now 1st and 10 at the 26, 10:35 remaining in this third quarter. Rutgers up by 3, looking to tack on more on this drive. Handoff to Manungai. He is up the middle and getting shoved his way all the way, enough for a first down. Now Kyle Manungai, his power and his strength, he just drives his feet right into the ground, lowers his shoulder, and gets about every inch possible. And now another first down. Rutgers moves the chains again. 1st and 10 from Indiana's 15. 10-10 remaining here in this third quarter. Rutgers up by 3. 17-14 over Indiana here on Homecoming Saturday. Rutgers have won the past 2 games against Indiana.
That was Christian Dremel, who has changed numbers a couple times today, who made that catch.
Dremel, one of the top wideouts, leads the team with 4 touchdowns this season. Snap is up to Wimsatt. It's a high one, but it's a quarterback keeper running out to the right near the numbers on the far side, and he is taken down right around the 8-yard line for a gain, the 7-yard line. Injured player down for Indiana. It was a gain of 8. Another QB power design run for Wimsatt. He's got 12 rushes today for 54 yards with a long of 16. Andre Carter and Aaron Casey were in on the tackle together. And Indiana defensively, Noah Pierre was carted off the field. We mentioned Lewis Moore ejected in this game, so 2 of your star guys defensively. This is the sound of success. Something Indiana men's soccer has experienced a lot of in October and November. But for Carson Henderlong and Jansen Miller, numbers 7 and 5 respectively, their relationship wasn't all that successful at first. The two first encountered one another while on different teams, and there was no love lost.
We played against each other growing up in academy, and we actually hated each other.
The trash talking began. But Henderlong's play on the pitch did all the talking.
Jansen started talking a little bit at the beginning of the game. I ended up scoring a hat trick, so that was kind of our opening relationship before we knew each other. I wasn't too fond of Jansen.
The two were not fond of each other, but it wouldn't be the last time they crossed paths.
And I remember I was a freshman. He came on his visit to Xavier, and I was like, oh, no way. This kid's going to come here.
It turned out that the two would be playing again on the same field, only this time for the same team.
Once he got to school, and I truly met him, we've been close since.
Their time together at Xavier was short. Henderlong decided to enter the transfer portal, winding up at Indiana.
Ultimately, I just made a decision that I wanted to see a change.
It seemed that when Henderlong transferred to Indiana, the two would part ways for good. But coaching changes within the Xavier staff provoked Miller to enter the transfer portal and the opening for the two to be reunited once again.
So I decided to transfer from Xavier because my coach was leaving at Xavier. I was actually the only one who ended up leaving Xavier. Carson had left before he knew that Mike Fleming was leaving. So he said he was leaving. I'm the one who said, you know what, I don't want to take a chance at a rebuild, so entered the portal.
I'll put in a good word for you if that's the decision you want to make, so kind of worked out. Yeah, every once in a while if they start saying something, maybe I'll just bring it up and be like, oh, well, maybe if I was playing on their team, I'd score a hat trick, you know, but it's also all love.
The two teammates joke about how they went from mortal enemies to close friends.